This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Her smile is only visible now from pictures like this. That is so heartbreaking.
The family of a local mother of two says she was shot and killed last month by a man she barely knew. Coming up, we'll hear more from her family about the warning signs of domestic violence as they hope other families won't have to experience the same tragic loss.
And health officials are trying to get more information from people who may have come down with paralytic shellfish poisoning. We'll have the details on a new survey that's out, as well as symptoms to report, plus the latest on these harvesting closures. All that coming up in just a few minutes.
Big week ahead for Portland's Rose Festival. We've got the Fred Meyer Jr. Parade on Wednesday, the Grand Floral Parade on Saturday, and the annual Dragon Boat races along the Willamette all next weekend. So a lot to cover here over the next few days, and we'll start that preview on Sunrise here in just a few minutes.
Yeah, lots of fun stuff going on all week long, but of course we start at the beginning, Monday.
The beginning.
I know. I'm glad you're here.
Always a good place to start a book.
Yes, at the beginning.
Applause
and Rod.
for the rain gauge. Everybody clap with me.
There was a lot of rain.
The rain gauge has an inch plus in it since this all started yesterday.
Wow.
Actually 69 100s, Chris, yesterday broke what was the record for the date of 67 100s.
So like an inch is basically all we normally get in June. For the most part.
1.63. So
Okay.
we're off and running with a really good. One of my messages you remember from last week, Chris, was that if we could get an inch and a half, which was looking like we could through tomorrow, and I guess that's still possible actually, that would put us right in the wheelhouse of what we typically get for the entire month of June. Right now, the story at hand is the steady rain is coming to an end. You can see there are definitely breaks in the precipitation on radar this morning. In fact, right now downtown Portland's dry. So now we've entered a showery weather pattern, rain at times today, tonight, and tomorrow. And that continues, and then starting Wednesday, a big stretch of dry weather. It's comfortable outside. We're at 58 degrees, 61 degrees at noon, and 65 at 5 p.m. with rain showers still in the forecast. Here's Chris.
I noticed on my way in some dry spots on the road, also some puddles still out there. So just watch out for that after that soaking last night. In the Vista Ridge Tunnel, this is eastbound on the Sunset. Got a fender bender there. The inbound right lane is blocked. There's a little bit of local congestion getting around that. And obviously that's a little busy for this hour of a Monday morning commute. Otherwise down to Wilsonville, you can see the road spray coming off the semis there, but that northbound drive still looks pretty good. And the trip through North Portland equally free and clear. So far, Drew, mostly so good on the roads this morning.
All right, Chris, thank you for that update. Family members are mourning the loss of a 31-year-old mother of two who police say was shot and killed inside her Southeast Portland apartment. Police also say they found the suspect in this case, but they haven't yet released his name.
Right. The family says the shooter is someone they hardly knew. Ashley Grams has the details.
Vibrant and loving, a woman with the most beautiful smile. That's how family and friends describe LaQuanda Fuller Hudson.
Her smile is only visible now from pictures like this. That is so heartbreaking.
Police say the 31-year-old mother of two was shot and killed on May 23rd inside her apartment in Southeast Portland.
My heart just dropped. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. So there wasn't even a chance for her to fight for her life.
Sarissa Hall is her godmother and says LaQuanda hardly knew the man who pulled the trigger, ending her life.
She'd known him about 2 months.
It's heartbreaking for her family, especially her mother.
And he was a wolf in sheep clothing.
Who says LaQuanda's life was stolen. Now all they have is memories of their daughter, sister, mother, and friend.
Her humbleness, but also her strength and her determination of what she wanted to do to be better for herself and for her children.
Did you know she was in a dangerous relationship?
No, she didn't even know she was in a dangerous relationship.
Hall says it's a reminder that anyone can be a victim of domestic violence.
Anyone of any demographic, any race, any culture, religious aspects.
And it's important to get help right away. As LaQuanda's family grieves, they turn to each other for support.
So that's what we're going to do. We're going to stay a family, love on each other, and help each other through.
Again, that was Ashley Grams reporting. If you or someone you know is a victim of domestic violence, there is help available. Take a look at your screen right now. Those are all the numbers that you can dial for more resources.
A construction worker died at the hospital over the weekend after a workplace accident last Thursday at Benson High School.
Devin Haskins is live in our newsroom this morning with more details. Good morning, Devin.
Yeah, good morning. So that worker, Portland Fire and Rescue tells us on Thursday, this happened on Thursday afternoon at around 3 at the Benson High School construction site. The worker's name is Samantha Deschenes. She was a member of the local Iron Workers 29 labor union. Deschenes suffered some sort of critical injury at the construction site, then was taken to a hospital where we're told she died 2 days later on Saturday from her injuries. Last year, Deschenes wrote to an Oregon House committee in support of the Interstate Bridge Replacement Project. And as part of that testimony, she said she was a single mother to a son. She said in that letter she also has been an apprentice for the union for 4 years. The Iron Workers Union released a short statement about Deschenes' death, saying, "It is with great sorrow that we confirm the loss of one of our members due to injuries sustained in a job site accident." A hardship fund has been set up at the Iron Workers USA Credit Union to help out her family. The union also said OSHA is investigating the incident. Drew?
All right, Devin Haskins reporting for us this morning live in our newsroom. Here's a look at some of this morning's other local headlines. Police arrested a man who is accused of stabbing someone in front of the courthouse in downtown Portland. Just after midnight on Sunday, 41-year-old Basir Nourzeh stopped an officer near Southwest 4th and Main and said he was being chased by 3 men. But eventually, police say they learned he only flagged them down after he stabbed one of those 3 men chasing him. They arrested Nourzeh after they saw the knife was still in his hand.
And the Oregon Health Authority wants anyone who harvested or ate shellfish from the Oregon coast to complete a survey to help them figure out what may have caused a recent outbreak of something called paralytic shellfish poisoning. Harvesting along the entire Oregon coast has been closed since last week because of an outbreak. So the illness we're talking about causes mouth and lip numbness, things like nausea, vomiting, or diarrhea. So far, some 20 people have had to go to the hospital. OHA says the survey is only for recreationally harvested shellfish. Mussel harvesting remains closed from the Washington to California borders.
Tiny jelly sea creatures could be the key to shaping the world of modern robotics thanks to their coordinated swimming behavior. So we're going to take a look at that behavior right now. The researchers at the University of Oregon say that these creatures, known as salps, swim together every single night from the bottom of the ocean up to the top in giant corkscrew shapes using jet propulsion. And that method of moving through the water could be used to help develop larger underwater deep sea vehicles.
So this is a mode of movement that hasn't been described before. So we can begin to understand some of the advantages of swimming in this way and how it might be important for these daily vertical migrations, which are the equivalent of you or me running a marathon every single day in terms of our body size.
Probably couldn't survive as a salp, personally. It'd be difficult.
It's a hard life.
According to the researchers, these colonies of salps can get up to a few feet long during their daily migration.
I could hear you read that story all over again.
Yeah,
really
so interesting, right?
I'm going to roll back the teleprompter here. Okay.
It's all the way to the top.
In other news this morning, researchers at the... you were kidding.
You're good.
Okay.
Who was the genius that was looking at this and went, you know, this could be helpful. This is useful information.
Right?
It's funny, when I was doing the story, I was thinking about the Seinfeld episode where they had the corkscrew pasta and the fusilli pasta. And
yes.
I don't know this episode, but go
Sorry.
on.
It was funny as well.
Okay. Okay.
Something serious that may impact your day today, and Chris McGinnis is going to have more on this, but it just came out, ODOT reporting a landslide that's closed both directions of Highway 101 north of Manzanita. So Chris is looking at the particulars. He's going to have more on that coming up.
Perfect.
But evidence of the decent rainfall that we've had across the area. If you are just joining us, the one advisory we have in our area is for wind. This starts at 8 o'clock this morning, extends until 11 o'clock tonight. This is from the Dalles out through the Columbia Basin into the foothills of the Blues. 25 to 35 mile per hour west winds gusting to 55. So kind of your typical wind advisory for strong gusty winds. This is a flood watch up towards Seattle, but I don't think they're going to have any problems. Would be very isolated, I'll put it that way. I don't think the rain amounts have been overly heavy. We picked up an inch of rain here in Portland since it began yesterday, which is right on target to what I thought we would at least pick up. Here's the look at the winds that are noticeably breezy. There were times yesterday, that's continuing to be the case this morning. Salem right now, southwest breezes gusting to 26 miles per hour. Okay, rain-wise, the steady stuff that started yesterday is over here on the west side. Here's a closer look. So you can see we're now into a scattery shower pattern that will be with us all the way into the night tomorrow. But the chunks of steady rain have pushed up into the Cascades, and they're moving out across the east. This shows you how much since midnight, 31 100ths of an inch in Portland. We had 69 100ths fall yesterday. Add the two together, you come up with an inch of rain, obviously. The wettest amount I found was up here at Abernathy Mountain, the 2,000 feet in the Willapa Hills on the Washington side of the Columbia, where they report about, I think it's 3 1/4 inches of rain, 3.25. Rain amounts up to Seattle, pretty much kind of since midnight what we picked up, 2/10 in Vancouver and 2/10 up in Seattle as well. Futurecast 9 o'clock this morning, all these green dots you see coming through. Here we are at 5:30 to show you clouds and scattered showers. Rain probably picks up somewhat overnight tonight. This is 11 o'clock tonight, and then we still have scattered showers around tomorrow. Wednesday will kick off a long stretch of dry weather. So between now and tomorrow night, weather models say maybe 35 100ths of an inch of additional rain coming in Kelso, and maybe 65 100ths of additional rains coming up into Astoria. Timberlines picked up over 2 inches of what was all rain, water, up at on Mount Hood as well. There are the clouds from the Wells Fargo camera. Here are your current temperatures, 58 in Portland, 58 in Salem, so it's comfortable. And here is your 7-day, which shows the dry weather starting Wednesday. And it does look like we have a good shot to be around 90 for several days starting Friday. That's a lot of sun, but some heat for the Rose Festival. We'll be back.